tour at the C.A.R. Expo in Long Beach and give you some updates.
Thank you, Sean. Well, hopefully you all got out there this last week. There's a wealth of information at the C.A.R. Expo, as well as the expo floor, all the classes that you can go to, and then of course we have our C.A.R. business meetings as well. So in 2017, I'm going to serve as the regional chair for Region 16, which includes West San Gabriel Valley Association Realtors and the Citrus Valley Association Realtors. So today for our program, I've put together a team of members who were there this past week and were at the different business meetings, and they'll give you a report as to what's going on. So hopefully this will help bring you up to speed. And with that, I'd like to call on our first one, and that's Giuseppe Veneziano, who's going to talk about technology, and also the investment. And I've asked him each to speak about 3 to 5 minutes, and then if he has time, he'll cover property management. Thank you. Giuseppe?
Good morning, everybody. All right, we got a lively crowd. So when we were at C.A.R., I actually attended a few meetings as well as the expo. I didn't see a raise of hands, but who went to the expo? Oh, you guys missed out. It was pretty cool. A lot of free stuff, definitely. One of the meetings that I went to was investment property management. It was a forum, and one of the things that they covered. How many of you out there do property management? Okay, so there's some new laws that are coming out with property management, which is it's a concern. So the BRE back in 2015, they did an audit to many offices. And they found out that a lot of offices do 70% of them do property management. So what that now opens up for the BRE is they're going to start auditing property management. So that's an interesting thing, because once they get into your office, it's hard to get them out, and it costs a lot of money. So make sure that if you're doing property management, that all your books are in order, because they're looking for violations. Another thing in regards to the investment properties was unlawful detainer reportings. And you know, when you deal with investment properties, you deal with tenants that you just have to evict sometimes. So one of the new laws that are coming out in 2017 is when you do an unlawful detainer and you actually win the case, which most likely you always do, there's this rule of thumb that the way it is right now, it says unless the plaintiff or landlord prevails within 60 days of filing, the unlawful detainer records are not public access. That's the way it's going to be in the future. Right now it says if the defendant who has previously prevailed within 60 days of filing, they don't have to show, or they can seal the file for the unlawful detainer. So in that essence, it was the proof was on the defendant or the tenant to go ahead and win the case, and then they can have the case sealed. Now it's the burden of proof in 2017 is going to turn over to the landlord. So that's another big thing. And you have 60 days to go ahead and take care of that unlawful detainer. So hopefully you don't run into some of the issues that a lot of property management companies are running into, where these defendants are asking for jury trials, and which prolongs the eviction process almost 4 to 6 months. Another disclosure for property management is there's a few of these actually. Liability protections of the environmental hazard booklet for leases more than a year. So you got to provide that lead-based paint or the earthquake hazards for your tenants that are even on the commercial side for property management if you're leasing them more than 1 year. Now, as for social media, how many of people are on social media? I should see everyone's hand up. So, social media is it's the most current way to market yourself at a nominal cost. It's like the most craziest thing you can think of. I mean, it would cost you $15,000 to do a TV ad for 3 markets, where at $15,000 you're going to reach, I don't know, 20 million people if that's what you want to do. So you can actually reach almost the same amount of people for a fraction of the cost, maybe even $500 a month. Facebook is one of the key things. I'm pretty sure everybody's on Facebook. They have over 1 billion people there. So, LinkedIn posts for doing some blogs. So that's more of the professional side, so you can network with other businesses. All right, here's a quick question: who's on Snapchat? Only one person in this entire room. That's crazy. 2 with me. I just joined. I resisted because I'm like, what is this Snapchat? It's like ridiculous. But if you're marketing to millennials, I'll tell you, millennials do most of their searches online and through social media. It's crazy. It's they don't talk on the phone. They text. They look at videos. They like comments. So definitely look into Snapchat. It's something that you can use to go ahead and market yourself and build your brand that way, especially if you're looking to, at this point, I think the millennials are the next baby boomers category, so there's a lot to market to a lot of business with the millennials. So that will conclude my report.
Thank you, Giuseppe. There'll never be another baby boomer generation, by the way. All right, so next up we've got Helen Chen Marston, and she's going to go over what was covered at Ledge. Thank you.
Before I touch the topics, I think our association deserves a big plug of the applause, because we actually, our board directors approve, we rent a booth there. We have a lot of good stuff there to give away with our logos and our banners. And yes, we serve margaritas there. We have our directors, our staff, and then some of our our members there to help. And then we definitely attract a lot of eyeballs and the legs there. And then, but I was make sure that no one get drunk over there. But I think we have our name out, and then it's successful. So let's give a big applause to our staff and our board. I attend to the Ledge committee meetings. There are a few action items. The number one I want to share is how many of you helped your clients selling their properties by utilizing Proposition 60 and 90?
Maybe give a brief reminder of what 60 and 90 are.
When property owner over 55 years old, when they sell their property, when they can carry their tax base for what they have on their old properties to their new purchase. But you can only do this either within LA County, that's Proposition 60, or Proposition 90 within, I think it's 8 counties in California. But you can only purchase equal or less of what you sell for your old property. And you have, okay, number one, you have to be over 55. Number two, you can buy equal or less. Number three, that only the certain locations. But now, C.A.R. adopt policy in favor of amending the state's property tax basis portability system. So the basis can be transferred regardless of the age of the homeowner, the location of the new home, the price of the new home. Okay, then very important, the number 4, the number of times the basis has been transferred. According to the old Proposition 16 and 90, you can only do once a lifetime. But now we're trying to limit that. Even though maybe not happen at the same time for 4 of these, but something might happen because C.A.R. is put a good effort to meet legislatures. So something will happen. So stay in tune, and then we'll keep you updated for the future discussions. And then that's okay. If you haven't done this for your client, and now it might be your tool to reach your clients, to text them, to let them know what benefit they can have by selling their home and transfer to different locations, even in different counties. Another action item, C.A.R. sponsored legislation requiring that the ballot pamphlet notify voters that the new taxes can only be challenged within 60 days of voter approval, and that notification be displayed prominently. A little background on these. It's in 2009, 2 partial taxes were approved by voters in the Albany Unified School District. And almost 5 years later, a lawsuit was filed by a taxpayer challenging the taxes as being illegal because they were essentially split roll partial taxes that impose different rates on residential and non-residential properties. Okay. So this case was brought to the court, and this case, the court ruled the plaintiff needed to have brought their challenge within 60 days of the voters' approval, the partial taxes. So under the state's validation, state's governmental actions. So now, if you have the challenge, no matter you think this is illegal or not, but you have to put the challenge within 60 days after the action. So these notifications will send to all the voters. Another action item, the C.A.R. sponsored legislation requiring that property owners be notified about the proposed new taxes and the bonds within 10 days of qualification for the ballot. This kind of a little bit long. Do I?
You know what?
Okay.
It's up to you. Do you want to summarize it, or do you want to skip? Which one is it?
This is the 10 days, within 10 days of qualification for the ballot, so that notification will send to the voters.
Yeah, you want me to do it?
Okay. All right.
Okay, so what that one basically is saying that is notification. So if you own a parcel in San Gabriel, but you live in Nevada, the parcel taxes increase will affect your property. They didn't have to notify you before as an absentee owner. So now what they're saying is they have to notify every property tax or every property owner that's going to be affected by it about the proposed property tax increase. So it's a very good one that C.A.R. is fully supportive of. Helen, thank you for that report. I appreciate it. And Ling, would you like to come up now? Are you busy counting your money? Okay, I'll call Susie next. Susie Dunkel Soto, our president-elect who represented us on membership, and she'll come up and give us a quick update. While I have 2 seconds, I hope everybody's registered to vote. It's going to be very critical to vote this year. There's so many things on the ballot, so many taxes, and a lot of people are very disgruntled with our presidential choices this year that they're going to stay home. But don't let that affect you for all the other items that are on the ballot. There's property taxes, parcel taxes. There's a sales tax increase. There's a lot of things that are going to affect real estate. So hopefully you will not stay home come November. So, all right, Susie Dunkel Soto.
Good morning, everybody. I served on 3 committees. One was the welcoming for the director's credentials. The other was education advisory, which is a closed group. And the 3rd committee is membership. One of the big highlights for membership was C.A.R., and we approved in our board of director meeting, is that all realtor members will be offered 45 hours of free CE credit. That means you will be able to renew your license at no charge. Well, your fee, licensing fees, but you'll have the CE credits at no charge. So that was a real huge benefit that was an overwhelming support to all our members. So currently we've been receiving 12 free hours, and now you'll get 45. So take advantage of that. We'll still have offered here if you are the one that doesn't maintain it for your last minute. We'll have the a program that comes in here, and you can do it kind of in with still your 45 hours, but at the end, usually that's when you push, opposed to taking advantage. So if it's 45 hours each year and you renew your license, that's 180 hours of free credit, C credit, you'll be getting over the next 4 years renewing your license. So really take advantage of that. It's a huge opportunity. It's within the membership you pay for. What are some other things at point? They were really stressing some benefits that we have within when you're going to the C.A.R.org website. One is, I don't know if you're aware, when you're on, usually when we're within zip forms, we can do the MLS Connect. But now if you're also in RPR, you can connect your client's information and connect it directly to ZipLogix. So instead of having to enter all the property information, that will populate as well. So once you have that into zip form, then you can go to zip form and do MLS Connect and get the agent information. And it helps to minimize any of the errors in some of the details. There's also Client Direct. If you go to C.A.R.org, there's Client Direct, and that's a newsletter that C.A.R. puts together, and you can customize that with your name and email it to your clients. So you're not paying any outrageous marketing fees to send a newsletter to your clients. That's a great little benefit. Another item, did anybody get to catch the lunch on Thursday with Leslie Appleton Young? Our great information, right, Senior? Yeah, Leslie Appleton Young is our chief economist for C.A.R. But if you missed her presentation, you can go on to CAR.org, market data, or /market data /market forecast. Her presentation will be there. You're going to miss all of her comments and information supporting a lot of it, but there's still some great slides. It's in a PowerPoint, and it's also in a PDF. So depending how you want to use that information and presenting it to your clients. Also, there's a down on the CAR.org website, there's down payment assistance resource. So if you have clients that are looking for identifying home ownership programs and their target market areas, you know, a lot of times we hear what a bank offers, but not what a particular city or other programs are available. So it's another great resource. So take advantage of everything that C.A.R. offers us as part of your membership. You pay for it. So utilize what's there. Thank you.
Thank you, Susie. Short and concise, that's a great quality in a president-elect. Our next speaker is Ling Chow.
Good morning, everyone. Who went to Expo last week? Yeah. Well, I was there too. Do you guys take the bus? Or did you guys walk there? You guys took the bus, right? We had 2 buses going out there. Okay, I'm on the Expo committee. It's appointed by the president, 3 years committee. Lorraine and I are both working at the Expo, and I'm also on policy forum and the ledge with Helen. Today, for me, I'm here to report about Expo committee. On Expo committee, during the Expo week, we work from Monday to Friday, and then Saturday we have another board director, so that's why we're there all week. Were you there? Did you win anything? Hey, come on. Come on. Ben, would you like to stand up and tell them what you won? Ben won a 55-inch TV. And there was another gentleman, another girl named Cody Wu. I don't know who she is, but she won another TV as well. During the 2 days of the scavenger hunt, the drawing, we had 2 iPod, 2 watches, 2 24-inch HP TV. HP desktop computer, 2 document scanners, and 2 Samsung 55 TV. And over 65,000 price was drawn for those 2 days, and a lot of cash. Our association alone donated a lot of money as well. So we had so many fun. Totally about 82,000 people showed up for the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday convention. So I hope you guys will come next year to San Diego in October 10th to October 12th. And I don't know whether we're going to have a bus going out to San Diego. It's about 2 hours drive down there. But I'm sure all of you had, the one that went, you guys had so much things. You pick up so many pens. You don't need to buy the pen for the next 10 years. You guys have so many, chargers and selfie and pictures and stuffed toy. So I like to donate today's drawing on the business card drawing. Did you put all your business card drawing in there? This is for the only C.A.R. Expo member. Hey, can we turn on the, I want to show you, this is the thing for Who's Your Realtor. We had the sign here for a couple, 1 month? Nobody took pictures with it? Yeah, okay. So at Expo, we have that. And David, next picture. So I think Susie took that picture as well. They had a motorcycle with the father of this dog. Okay, so we're going to put it in the business card drawing. And for those who haven't been to Expo, I brought my bag because I don't use them, too many of them. But here is the bag for the Expo, and we're going to put it in the drawing as well. It's not only a carry-on, but it's also a backpack. It's great when you go shopping for grocery. Nowadays, they don't even give you plastic bag, right? So hope to see all of you next year at San Diego. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Ling, and thank you for representing us on the Expo Committee. Just by show of hands, how many have seen those ads, the Who's Your Realtor ads? Are you familiar with that ad campaign on TV? Yes, no? Okay. I think it's one of our better ads that's been airing all kinds of sporting events and all kinds of, do we have it? Can you show it, David?
Which one?
The Who's Your Realtor ad?
Let me find it.
One of the other things that they've done with our ad dollars is, what's the show, Modern Family? Anybody watch Modern Family? So Modern Family is a popular show right now, and one of the characters on there is a realtor. And so they go through the different things during the show where they, like one, I think they said they called it Realtor, which we, of course, raises the hair on the back of our neck when we hear that because it's Realtor, not Realtor. And I think he corrected them in the show one time. So anyway, there's things like that anyways, they'll pull that up if he can find it. I attended the federal meetings. The big thing there is tax reform, and we've been talking about tax reform for several years now. There's a big push on both sides of the aisle in Congress and the Senate to reform taxes. Fortunately, in my opinion, nobody's wanted to act. Nobody's been able to get a consensus together. In D.C., they're very nervous about the new administration, no matter who wins, and what they're going to try to do. And so we anticipate that tax reform is finally coming. One of the things that they're trying to eliminate is the mortgage interest deduction. The mortgage interest deduction, of course, is the ability to deduct the interest on your house from your taxes. It's the oldest deduction in the tax code. It was there when they started the income tax 100 years ago, and it's critical to those of us who sell real estate that our clients have the ability to deduct their interest because it gives them an advantage to buy over leasing or over renting. We think that that's under attack again. There's three plans, tax plans, that have been floated in Congress, and all three of them have kind of a backdoor way to eliminate the mortgage interest deduction. And what they're planning on doing is, it's rather complicated. We had a half-an-hour presentation on it, but just to give you the thumbnail version, they're trying to raise the standardized deduction and then lower the benefit for the interest deduction. So what it would do is it would make those that use the mortgage interest deduction a very small minority. Right now, it's the most widely used tax deduction there is. But if they can then reduce the number of people that use it, then they can come back 2 years later and say, well, nobody uses the mortgage interest deduction anymore. It's obsolete. We don't need it. And that's the kind of thinking that we're up against in D.C. And it's so I do it to educate our members. I say it to educate our members and really make everybody aware of what's going on back there. Do you have the commercial? We'll do it. We'll do it another time because it is a fun one to see. While I have your attention, Teresa Dang, wave your hand. Karen Hewitt, wave your hand. Karen and Teresa and I went to the San Gabriel City Council meeting on Tuesday night. We really earned that one. We had to sit through a long discussion on an issue that was on the agenda prior to ours. But the city of San Gabriel just renewed their building moratorium on single-family homes. And to me, this is very concerning. As a proponent and advocate of property owners' rights, it's concerning to me that the city would say for 2 years that you cannot remove your house and rebuild it. I was telling Mr. Berge, I had a conversation with my children on the way to school today. Before coming here, I dropped them off. And my 11-year-old daughter said, well, if it's your property, why can't you build a house? And I said, exactly. Why can't we get the 5 council members in San Gabriel to see it that way? So anyways, if you're in San Gabriel, if you live in San Gabriel, you have clients in San Gabriel that are affected by this, come and tell me, because I'm looking for some friends and some support on this issue, and I think it's important that we present it. So, all right. No further ado, I'll turn it back over to Shun. Thank you.